Do we have a mic? Yes, we have. My God. We start this broadcast of round 5 of the Whodarron Cup at Laguna Seca. Very, very good, everybody. But we are here. We have a mic. We have sound. I believe we have game sound and mic sound, everybody. So that's all good to go. But with that little delay in the comms, welcome to round 5 of the Whodarron Cup at Laguna Seca. We are looking at Matthias de Munster currently, and the field seems to be very, very tight, everybody. We are gonna go through the last 11 minutes of free practice. I believe everybody's in. If somebody's still gonna be joining after me, I am one of those commentators that keeps a car in the pit lane. I have chosen the smallest one to not be bothering anybody, but yes. My apologies for that if you are unlucky enough to have my car in front of your box. Talking about the track today, we have Laguna Seca, of course. We've got 11 turns. It's a counterclockwise rotation, but when I'm talking about that, we're gonna bring up that little info tab, of course. We are in the United States, California, I believe, the Desert E area, and 3.6 kilometers, 2.2 miles, very, very short track, but nonetheless very, very demanding. 11 turns, counterclockwise, pole stars on the left, the first 2 corners, or one long corner, however you want to say it, is gonna be to the left. And we are starting off here today. We are starting off here today with a couple of standings for the gold drivers, the silver drivers, and the bronze drivers. I've got them here in front of me. We will talk about that later when we are on the startup grid, everybody. So you are gonna be getting those from us later. I'm gonna be here alone. Matthew got all the overlays done, and I just wanna at least show you all something that Matthew has been working on today. That's why he was testing, that's why we were in the comms box for a little bit, and he sorted it. But to let you all know what you can expect today if we do have an incident or if something happens, we have set something up for you all. So if we are starting off here today with a couple of standings for the gold drivers, the silver drivers, and the not anything what's happening during the stream. That's just the replay that's gonna be showing everybody. But talking about the guys on track, the first guy, or the guy in P1 right now, gold driver, Mr. Wilbrink, is driving a 130.6. We will be writing that down because we're gonna need that later on when the quali is starting. So a gold P1 130.6, everybody, and P2, P3 are not that far behind, with Maarten Post just being 1/10 slower, and then Ian McGowan as well, gold, with a 7 as well. So things seems to be getting very, very heated up front for the gold drivers. Then we have Steve Gillies, one of the silver drivers, first silver driver, but just barely under a tenth behind the gold driver in P3. So for the silver guys, it's Gillies in P1 at the moment with a 130.8. 130.8, excuse me everybody, I'm riding, I'm talking, I'm looking. So we are doing a whole lot of stuff together. Talking about Laguna Seca, it's not necessarily my favorite track, but there are a couple of famous corners, of course. You've got the Andretti hairpin, you've got the Rahal Straight and the corkscrew. And speaking about those corners, from all the 11 turns that this American track has, only a couple of them are named, and that's all of them that we just summed up for you. So 11 turns, just 3 names. For the rest of it, we're going to talk about turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, and all that kind of stuff. So that's Laguna Seca for you. And to give you all something to watch, we are gonna of course go to a different camera to see that Chevy of McGowan carve up the hills of Laguna Seca today. And while we are looking, I'm gonna see where the next driver is, the silver driver. Mr. Clarwell in P9. So between P1 in the silver class and P2 in the silver class, we have a big gap of about 6.5 tenths, everybody. That's pretty significant. So we are going to count that down as a 130 point. 31, I would say. No, I'm lying. That's a 131.5. And someone in the chat, Mr. Benedict Varga, it's to race on his favorite racetracks. Well, you are in 10th place right now, Mr. Benedict Varga. Can we get a second off of that? Can we get a second off of that time? And Mr. Gillies in the chat as well. And Maiga has 100 liters of fuel. Well, you never know. He is fast though. He is very fast, Mr. Maiga. So you never know what's gonna happen, of course. But Mr. Varga is currently the P3 in the silver class, but P10 overall. So that's very good as well. 131.5 approximately. And the bronze guys, Mr. B. Winspear is currently in P1 for the bronze guys. And very fast. It's driving a 131.4. And P2 for the bronze guys is Jerry Moore. Currently, I can give you all that. Currently first in the standings for the bronze driver category. So Jerry Moore is doing a and I should not be lying, and my math is not the best anymore. I need a phone for that all the time nowadays. So thank you middle school, thank you high school for helping me with that one. But 1.1 makes a 131.8. Funny thing is, while I'm looking and going through these times on the board, P18 is the third bronze driver, and that's Mr. N. Broom. I'm just gonna assume that's Nick Broom, and almost 2 seconds behind, so that's a 132.5. The funny thing is, silver, gold, bronze, going through the whole field is everybody is gonna have someone to fight with, and if everybody is gonna have someone to fight with, it's definitely gonna be a very fun race, as we have Mr. Dutch J7K aka J Crack, or Mr. Dutch Buddha in the chat, and he's not allowed to talk in the chat because I said to him, if he's gonna say anything while he's still practicing, it's not gonna be fun for him. He actually lives on about 500 meters away from me, so I'll be talking to him later today. When look at this pit lane, everybody. All these cars, AMGs, Chevys, Ginettas, and I am missing Mr. Van de Ven, I believe, in a certain KTM. We have one Alpine, and that's currently on the track, and the BMW on the track as well. No, in the pit lane, I should say. I should not be lying. BMW in the chat, in the pit, 2 BMWs. I'm the second one, but mine is an M2 and is not gonna be racing today. And this Alpine is gonna be one to watch, I believe, here on Laguna. Is currently in P24 as a silver driver, but as we already saw in the chat, and Steve Gillies is building his rig all over again, as he's missed a bolt or a nut getting loose somewhere. But this Alpine is very nimble, and this is gonna be a car to watch out for here on Laguna. With him being silver, probably still getting used to the track, trying to find his lines, trying to get braking points, trying to get that optimum exit and that optimum entry line, because those curbs on the inside or outside can be very, very tricky around here. Looking up to the top of the board right now, we've got of course Mr. Wilbrink, we've got Post, we've got McGowan, we've got Gillies, we've got Cairns, and we've got the Munster. And yeah, we are of course not going to be talking about it until we are on the race or on the startup for the race on the grid. But these guys are all getting very, very close to each other. What do we have to say? We've got 1 minute left of free practice, boys, and then, or ladies and gentlemen, I should say. We're not just boys, of course, ladies and gentlemen. But we have 1 minute left, just under a minute, and then we're gonna get ready for qualifying for the round number 7 of the Whodarron Cup on SimPlay Motorsport. If you haven't watched the Whodarron Cup before, it's a very, very close competition, and you see all these guys on the track, and it's not just P1 to P25. There's actually, like, it's the same class, but there's 3 categories on the track. So, and I think that's part of what makes it exciting, because everybody has someone to race, but everybody needs to look back at some point to not be in the way of different races. So that's a definite plus point in this kind of setup. And I hope Gillies is gonna get that nut tightened up before his whole rig falls apart during a braking moment. I've already seen someone, when we started sim racing, I've seen someone absolutely smash someone off the track. I'm not gonna name any names, but his rig actually fell apart while braking. And yeah, when your pedals go forward and your feet can't reach the brake anymore, you're gonna have a little problem. So yeah, not fun at all, not fun at all. As I'm checking my phone, someone was actually asking for the link. I've posted it almost everywhere, I think, but someone's still asking for a link. We are not on XCL TV, we are here at SimPlay, being a guest commentator. Some of you guys might know me, and while we're waiting for that that timer to run down, and people are getting ready for qualifying, people still on the track, but I am usually on XCL TV. I'm just a guest commentator, reserve commentator. I believe I have done round number 2 or 3 at Brands Hatch the last time I was here, and I have been asked to do this round 5 for you guys. So talking in practice, talking in the qualifying, it's always you're searching for words, you're trying to look for action, but the action is not really there yet. Qualifying can get very, very exciting though. So we are, well, I am actually gonna go back to the pit lane, but we are gonna try and find out who is gonna be the first guy on the track to start that warm-up lap and then that quick quali. I believe I see Mr. Maiga and Mr. Munster with Mr. McGowan right behind. And I did see a funny thing in the Discord earlier. People were asking, do we have to use the whole pit exit in Laguna Seca? And I saw 3 admins all together saying yes, yes, yes. So people, if you're on the track, or if you know people that are on the track, please let them know to not, when things get heated or excited, or please let them know to not cross the pit exit when you're on the main straight, basically. So, because that is gonna hurt your end result. In my beliefs, I think. But Maiga still the one first on the track, and I might do things a little bit different than Mr. Duffin or Mr. Chaos Fan Yoshi, or if I'm forgetting one of the commentators, my bad. But I usually go on board with the first guy to start his real first quali run. So as Maiga goes through the last corner in a little bit, then we're gonna go on board. I will shut up, I will take a little sip of my drink, and I will let you guys enjoy the first real quali lap from Maiga's POV, everybody. So here we go. We're gonna go on board with Maiga, and he is gonna take you all for the first quali run of today. So enjoy. If we need anything changed about the sound, everybody, we can up the game volume a little bit, we can up the mic volume a little bit. So if there's any differences or anything annoying, we can change the sliders. If you don't like my voice, we can even mute my own mic, but it would be a very boring broadcast in my opinion. It's a lap of Laguna Seca, everybody. Let's see what we're gonna get on the board. We're gonna get a 131, and in my opinion, first we had a 130.6 for P1, and I believe Maiga was running a in the silver category just behind Gillies, a 131 or 130.9, 130.8, I believe. So. He's got some work to do, and we see McGowan already pulling in with a 130.3. That's already 3/10 faster than we had as the fastest time in practice, everybody. 3/10 faster than we had in practice. So these guys are gonna get it on. Fuel is out, fresh set of tires, and possibly using the third or the second set for the qualifier, and possibly the third set for the race number 1. And so they have 3 sets of tires for the next 10 minutes of practice, 1 set for the new quali, and possibly 1 set for the second race. But you could always do that 10 minutes of practice and that 10 minutes of qualifying in on 1 set of tires, so you keep 1 spare if you get flat spots or have a big crash in the race, of course. We are here with Mr. William Cairns in the Ginetta. Very nimble car as well. It's I believe a little bit slower on the straights than the Alpine, but it is a very nimble car. It does sound, I mean, I won't say it sounds the best, but it does have a nice little roar to the engine. So very, very excited to see a couple of Ginettas in this class, with McGowan doing a 130.39 and Mr. Herendik just over 2.5 tenths behind. William Cairns currently on P3, and Matthias de Munster, who we've seen racing quite heavily this year already with a couple of guys. So in that trusty Mercedes of him, he is in P5 for the moment. And Benedict Varga was P10 in the practice, but is now on P7. Quali is still not over though. We've got about 3 more laps to go, if I'm not mistaken. And let's see how the board is gonna shuffle itself by the time the qualifying ends. I do like the fact that we have, I believe, Mr. McGowan and Matthias de Munster very, very close behind each other. Car number 46 and car number 3, yes indeed. And look at this, everybody. Maarten Post. I've seen a race, I believe, where was it? Was it the wet Hungaroring, where he started on the dry tires, lost a lot of time, and made that McLaren work. I believe it was the Hungaroring, and he was very, very unlucky in that McLaren, and right now he is 2 tenths behind Mr. McGowan. McGowan improving himself by just under a tenth, going to 130 or just over a tenth, because it was already a 3.9. So over a tenth in the 130.2 and a halves, with the M post now being in the 130.5s, and Maiga is just 100 or 10 thousandths behind post, and then we have William Cairns just a tenth behind P3 at the moment. So very, very tight up front, and then you've got P5 and P6 separated by just half a tenth, and then you've got P6 and 7 just 5,000. So everything is looking like, and if you go down the whole field, I mean, we can talk about everybody, but go down the whole grid, the whole lineup, and you will see that we're gonna get a very exciting race today. Of course, when you go to the bottom, we do have a couple of cars that are very, very close, and sometimes you'll get a little half a second, a tenth, and here we have a very, very big gap. But more or less, the whole field is gonna be fighting with each other. If you make a mistake up front, there's a good chance you're just gonna drop down 5 to 10 places in one corner, trying to get back to the tarmac. $130.2 and a half for McGowan, and Post has improved himself as well, just a half a tenth behind. William Cairns has improved himself, just half a tenth behind Marta Post in the McLaren, or William Cairns in the Ginetta, but a half a tenth behind that McLaren of Post. And Maiga is now the one that's losing out by just over a tenth for a starting P3. 347, 347, and guys, P6 and P7 exactly the same time on the board right now. So whichever one of these guys is going to be improving is going to be a happy man, in my opinion. And you don't have to improve by much, because looking, and that's the funny thing about a tenth or half a tenth or thousands of gaps, just that little more ballsy move going into the corner, or a little bit earlier on the throttle, and you're gonna get that 5,000 or that half a tenth that you need. But the problem is, you gotta keep it clean, you gotta keep it on the track, and you gotta cross that finish line. Steve Gillies currently in P11. Let's hope he can get a little bit of an improvement with a half broken rig, or maybe in the meantime he has fixed it. But let's hope for a P10, and Benedict Varga, for him being on his favorite track, I think a P10 to P5 finish, looking at the times on the board, would be very, very amazing. And believe me, if you're gonna get side by side, I mean, now we're qualifying, everybody can get in their own rhythm. As soon as qualifying is over and that warm-up lap is done, and you're gonna be side by side in the corners with a couple of very, very bumpy curves, a corkscrew that's unforgiving, and especially this section where Steve Gillies is now gonna go through this left-hander, you're gonna go in, you're gonna get understeer, you're gonna go wide, and you have to swing that car back to the left to open up that second to last right-hander. And go all over to the inside, let the car run wide again coming out, and then over here you can brake late but overshoot it, and you're gonna mess up your whole exit onto the start finish straight. So Steve Gillies, P4 everybody for Steve Gillies, and that's a Wanderlust lap. That's a definite Wanderlust lap, just over 1.5 tenths behind P1. And very, very close to William Cairns and Matthias de Munster. Maiga though, looking at, I mean, we've said it a million times already, but look at the whole field all the way down to P15. It's just a second between P1 and P15. So get ready for some heated moments, everybody. It's Mr. Clarbull, stays in P15, but we're gonna return to garage. We're gonna go to the timetables, and William Cairns, everybody, takes P1 by a tenth, exactly a tenth, 130.1. Sadly, we missed him coming over the finish line to get that time, but it's P1 for William Cairns in the Ginetta. We've got McGowan in P2 in the Chevy, and Marta Post in P3, and all of these guys, there's a tenth of a difference between P1 and P2, and there's a half a tenth difference between P2 and P3. So this is gonna be very, very exciting. We're gonna get a nice, we're gonna try and get a nice view of today's grid, everybody. We're gonna go back through the field a little bit, and we're gonna pick our camera, and here we go. So we're on the warm-up grid right now, so let's go through the standings, everybody. We have the gold drivers standings. We've got Marta Post in P1 currently before this round. So this is all the standings after round 4, everybody. We've got Marta Post in P1, the Munster in P2, Cairns in P3 and Wilbrink in P4. Then it's Jay van der Ven, who we're missing today on the grid, and it's Vee Popicil, I don't know how we say that, but in P6 in the overall standings. Then it's Mackenzie in P7 and Leach in P8, with McGowan currently in P2 in the actual race, but in the standings P9 for the gold drivers, and Mizin in P10 for the gold driver. So then we're getting over to the silver drivers, everybody. Maiga, number 1 in the overall standings, with Steve Gillies very, very close behind in second. We've got Popovic in third, Vasic in fourth, and Clarbull, who's currently in P15, is enjoying himself a very nice P5 in the silver standings. We've got Aberdeen in 6th, we've got Marsden in 7th, and Jay Lee in 8th. Then we're gonna get over to 9th position with Macmillan and A. Cummins in P10 in the silver category, everybody. We've got the bronze standings, and funny enough, there's one of the bronze guys is in Disneyland enjoying Mickey Mouse tonight. So we've got Cherry Moore in P1 in the bronze category. We've got Anderson, Garrett Anderson, who is in Mickey Mouse Land, in second place. Can't enjoy his race tonight, so he's gonna get a points loss while the others gain, possibly. We've got Kruppian in P3 with N. Broom in 4th. And then it's C. Privet in 5th with R. Stapley in 6th and N. Dozen in 7th. We've got R. Smith and then my mate J. Crack in P9 for the bronze drivers, and then it's B. Winspear in 10th. So that's all your overall standings. Sadly, I do not have anything to show it to you all on the stream, but I think it's already been updated on the Discord if you are part of the Discord and you want to check it out. So make sure you do that, and you know how many risks as a driver you need to take in the next couple of races, everybody. Or if you can slow down and just play it safe. Then we have, of course, the pit stops, everybody. We've already talked about the track a little bit. The pit stop times. We have no mandatory pit stop, but if you do get a drive-through, it's gonna be around that 21-second mark. With a 1 liter refuel, let's say that's no standing time. So if you do need to make a pit stop and you do have a little bit of damage, we're just gonna take that 25-second standing as a damage period. So if you're gonna get a little bit damaged and you want to repair, you're gonna lose about 51 seconds, everybody. Drive-throughs is the best thing we can look at. 21 seconds with possible damage, you're gonna be looking at around that 50-second mark. So let's keep it clean and don't fly off of the corkscrew. So that's the most important part. But we're gonna come up on the last corner, everybody, and some people are in the pit lane, including myself, and some people are on the track. You see the whole grid kind of getting together. We're gonna get onto the start-finish straight, and people will be getting ready, getting into that starting position. And we will go into the helicam to try and capture everything that's gonna happen at the start of round 5 of the Whodarron Cup at Laguna Seca with the green lights, everybody. And off we go onto the first corner, going downhill, and then it's a double left-hander or one left-hander, no matter how you call it. But let's see what's gonna happen. And we see a couple of guys sliding off, a little bit of curling, and the BMW is completely off track, completely inside. But we're gonna get to the front again, and the first couple of laps are gonna be a little bit chaotic, everybody, but we're gonna try and see where everybody is at. And if we can get all those things captured that are happening. Privet was the one in the BMW that completely lost it on the first corner, but it does seem to be quite clean, everybody. It does seem to be quite clean. So first couple of laps gonna be a little bit more craziness going on, a little bit more battles, I believe, but let's hope with just me and my one screen setup over here, or one streamer setup, we can show you guys as much of all the battles going on. All going through the corkscrew cleanly, I hope. Nobody flies off. Some people are taking it slowly, but at least it's clean. And let's go to the front, everybody. We've got McGowan and Gillies very close for the battle for P1 in the first, or in the second lap, we should say. Second lap, McGowan all over the backside of Cairns. And let's focus on this battle for now. After 2 or 3 laps, the race will settle down, and I do not want to give you all an epileptic attack. So let's focus on these 3 guys by now, because Maarten Post is closing in. It's McGowan and Post, everybody. 3 different cars, 3 different drivers, of course, and 3 different styles of driving, possibly. It's just nice to just listen to that sound again, right? You hear that Ginetta zooming by, then you hear that heavy V8 of the Chevy and the McLaren following. No major moves being made, so we're gonna try and go over here, because Wilbrink is still ahead of the Munster, but Maiga is just ahead of Wilbrink, so these guys are here as well. And looking through the field, we've got a small gap of about a tenth here as well, with I was gonna say the Chevy very close behind the Ginetta, but the Ginetta is driving away already. But we have not seen any major overtakes yet, and we're just gonna go back to the front guys, because we do not want to miss out on a possible battle. I do think these guys are gonna be a little bit more clean than the guys in the back, but you never know. The J Crack P16 had a good start, everybody. Oh, and that's the commentator's curse, as they call it. As soon as we start looking, oh, and the Munster, everybody, and Varga tries to go along with the Munster, overtaking what I believe is, or it's yes, it is Varga. They are overtaking Wilbrink. And Varga has also overtaken Herendich in the AMG. So now it's the Munster, it's Varga, it's Wilbrink, and then it's Pospisil, who also made it past Herendich. So major shuffle on what happened over here. The Munster is free to go and try and chase down Maiga. We do know if the Munster gets into that rhythm, he can do some beautiful things. So let's hope for him. He can free himself from the guys behind and focus forward. So this is where the battle is at, everybody. Mr. Varga in the Ginetta, Wilbrink in that Aston just behind. What's gonna happen in these first couple of corners? Wilbrink on the inside does brake very early to what I would say keep each other alive. In the front we have still Cairns in the P1, McGowan in P2 and Post in P3. But Varga, Wilbrink, Pospisil and Herendich, this is where the battle is at. Looking at the timings, these guys are the closest on track right now. It's possible Cherry Moore behind Herendich, Cherry Moore in the Chevy as well. And you have a whole train of cars. We're gonna go into that helicam, everybody. But if we get the nice POV with the helicam, you're gonna see a whole train of cars just blasting past very close midfield. See Varga just right in the image or in the video. Right now he's up top behind the Mercedes of the monster, but left in the screen is Varga. Then we've got Wilbrink, we've got of course Mr. Pospisil in the blue Chevy, then it's Herendich just behind, and Cherry Moore is losing out a little bit right now. So these guys are close enough, but we see McGowan and Cairns, and we just missed the overtake, everybody. Whoa, and what is happening over here? Everybody's drifting around, that's a connection issue. But McGowan passed Cairns in the first corner of Laguna Seca, and then it's Post losing out a little bit on time. But if these guys start battling, Post should be able to keep up and try and make a move himself. We did miss out on that battle between McGowan and Cairns. Post is close behind, and Wilbrink is where the battle's at. Wilbrink, Varga and Pospisil. And Varga just goes wide, has unbalance in that car. Can he stay ahead? He had to brake to keep that car under control, but I think Wilbrink didn't want to risk sending it along the outside. A little bit of paint trading, and this is gonna be 3 wide on the straight if Wilbrink can get the traction, but he does not. And it's Wilbrink falling back 3 positions. It's now Varga, Pospisil, Herendich and Wilbrink. So these guys are gonna get it on, and this is where we're gonna stay for now. We're gonna have a quick little look though, and then we're gonna go back. Cairns and McGowan. McGowan still comfortably ahead, but Pospisil ahead of Varga. Very well done, and it's now Varga ahead of Herendich. Wilbrink close behind, and then behind Wilbrink is Cherry Moore in another Chevy, and behind that is Clarwell in another Ginetta. So we are at the right spot for the action, everybody. We're actually gonna go follow around Mr. Herendich, because we can see all the cars in the close by him, close by Mr. Herendich. Oh, and it's Cherry Moore just going a little bit wide. McGowan seems to be extending at the front, and Post is losing out on Cairns. So the top 3 guys seems to be settling into their respective places, I would say. And we will be looking at what's happening over here. We see Cherry Moore though, very close behind Clarwell. Sometimes the split time is lying to us, so even if we go and have a look at 7/10, 9/10, it might be 3 or 2. If it says 1 or even half a tenth, it might be 4 or 5 tenths, maybe even a second. But split times are not always quickly updated. This is the best gap over here though. We've got Herendich, Wilbrink and still Varga. This is Varga's favorite track, so he does make maybe a couple of mistakes, but if it's your favorite track, you are possibly pushing, possibly going for the best result you can. And everybody is of course doing that, but if it's your favorite track of all time, you're gonna put that little extra in it. And that's possibly what Varga is doing right now. Very great POV. If they come through that corner, you get that little long... Oh! And who do we have off the track right there? That was a AMG in my opinion. Was that Popovic? No, it was not. It was not Herendic either. It was a... it was the Ginetta of Clarville, I believe. Look at these guys over here. You've got Maiga. You've got Herendic, or Varga, Herendic and Wilbrink. 2 by 2. 4 guys going into the first corner. Wilbrink going absolutely on the inside. Maiga in the sandwich. And you have Herendic who tries to get the best of Maiga there, but needs to go along the outside. And it's Wilbrink back in front of Maiga and Varga, with Herendic still being the last one in this 4-man train. But this battle is going absolutely crazy, everyone. We are gonna go on board with the guy who's seeing it all from the best POV possible. Mr. Herendic on board, looking at Maiga in the Mercedes ahead, and it's of course Varga in the Ginetta in front of that, and then in the distance we see Wilbrink in that V8 Aston Martin. We do see Marta Post in the split time coming a little bit closer to Cairns, and we have of course Varga, Maiga and Herendic very close together, but Cherry Moore is actually very close to Clarville as well, with Windspear getting closer to the backside of Cherry Moore as well. And oh, Herendic has a little bit of oversteer. We're gonna go back into the TV cam to see what these guys are doing, and looking behind we can see that Clarville and Cherry Moore, Windspear are getting closer and closer together. Varga is losing a little bit of time, a little bit of ground to Wilbrink at the moment, but Maiga and Herendic are very close. So Mercedes on Mercedes action over here, and Laguna under the Californian sun. And don't Google that, everybody. You should never Google what I say when we are broadcasting. So let's make that a rule. Everything the broadcaster says, you're not gonna be Googling. Maiga seems to be extending a little bit compared to Herendic, and we do want to see Clarville and Cherry Moore. It's a silver driver versus a bronze driver, and if Cherry Moore keeps this up, he has been having some good results this season, I believe. Oh, and Clarville goes wide, loses a little bit of traction, but Cherry Moore can't fully accelerate, staying on that outside line. He does make himself go on the inside. He should have this corner. It's very, very safe though, and Clarville can let that Ginetta roll along the outside to come out on the inside for the next right-hander. Funny thing is, Windspear has found his way to the backside of Cherry Moore. So we've got a 3-man train over here. And it's over for Cherry Moore to just be looking ahead. He needs to look in his mirrors. He needs to look to the front. He needs to see what's happening in front and behind him, and adapt as you go. Gillies is getting closer to William Cairns, and while we are looking at all these battles, this is the second time we have missed a battle at the front, because Cairns possibly made a mistake, or Post just got so much more power or traction out of that McLaren that he made the pass, and Gillies is very close behind Cairns right now. So Cairns possibly made a mistake, maybe has a little bit of damage. We missed it, so we can't say for sure, but we're gonna stay here. Battle for P3, everybody. We've missed 2 of the overtakes at the front, so we're gonna stay here for now. Battle for P3, Cairns in the black on yellow Ginetta, and it's Gillies in the blue and red on yellow Ginetta. So to not be confusing with 2 yellows, no, it's just the black one is Cairns, the yellow one is Gillies. And McGowan at the moment is driving away, almost 3 seconds ahead of post. And Maarten is 1.5 seconds ahead of Cairns. We do still have Cherry Moore has made the pass on Clarbill, everybody, and Winspear is very close behind Clarbill, so these guys are not battling at the moment. Clarbill is having a difficult night at Laguna Seca. Does seem to be making a couple of mistakes, braking a little bit too late, maybe getting on the power a little bit too early, but he is pushing the Ginetta, and Laguna Seca is not the most easy track to master. Gillies so 8/10 behind Cairns. And no major battles at the moment. Closest gap on the track right now is Gillies chasing down Cairns. Ginetta on Ginetta action. With Cairns staying or sticking with post at that 1.3, 1.5 kind of seconds behind, as we see the BMW of who was it? Privet parking it along the side of the track and possibly going back to the pit lane. Cairns goes a little bit deep. But Gillies doesn't overtake, of course, because you can go deep, you can cut off that course screen, you do not lose a lot of time, but that's a possible track limit for Cairns, and Gillies can only hope that Cairns gets 1 or 2 track limits more. Or make a move. Make a move in T1, everybody. Wouldn't that be a thing? We see the Monster and Pospisil there in the background. We are gonna go on board, everybody, with Mr. Gillies chasing down Cairns. The Ginetta, of course, being a right-hand drive car. We do have another battle on our hands, everybody. We're gonna stick here for a little bit longer, but we have P8 Benny Varga with Herendic in P9. 3.5 tenths is the gap. So as soon as we are through the course crew, we're gonna go to there. Right, we are heading towards P8 and P9. It's Benny Varga still in P8 and Herendic in that AMG just behind. Oh, just had a little look, but Benny Varga should be sweaty for the what was going on in his mind when Herendic tried to show the nose there up on the inside for the course crew. Gillies though getting closer and closer as well, so we are on the straight. We're gonna hope nothing is gonna happen, and Gillies is getting very close behind Cairns. the battle for P3 with just under 10 minutes to go. Rendic and Varga though, you gotta choose, and this is why I prefer two POVs, everybody. But that's what I do with Mr. J Crack on XEL TV. We try to do 2 POVs. There's always a little bit of a delay in the second POV, but you can check out a lot of things on the track. We are gonna have a little look at P8 again. Benedict Varga, Benny Varga, still in P8. And Rendic can only look at the backside of that Ginetta. I think if he closes his eyes tonight after race 2, if this is gonna happen, he is gonna be seeing Ginetta rear lights in his dreams. Mr. Cairns though seems to be managing the gap quite good now, and Steve Gillies might have made a mistake himself, but that gives Cairns a little bit of breathing room to continue on his way for the last 8.5 minutes. In my mind, that's 1.5, that's 6 is 4, 7.5 is 5, about 6 more laps to go. Benedict Varga and Rendic though. No major battle going on. Maiga in P10 was all the way up into P4, I believe. Possibly made a mistake and fell back through the field. We have Stapley and Broom also very, very close together, but no overtaking moments yet. Sad to see my mate J Crack in 21st position, but we did see him go off at that after turn number 3, hitting the curb, hitting the sand, and getting into the gravel. Very, very sad to see my mate go off like that, of course. But that's racing, everybody. Anything can happen. And at these guys, closest battle on the track, closest 2 drivers, and it's Stapley in the Ginetta in front of Broom in the Aston Martin. And Stapley just misses the corkscrew. Broom is gonna get up on the inside for the next left-hander, downhill, understeering possibility. So if you're on the outside in that turn, you're gonna have a hard time, everybody. That's the move done. And Cairns comfortably ahead of Steve Gillies right now. So Cairns got his mojo back and is now trying to get back to the to Mr. Post, of course. But the gap is 2 seconds, so that's a whole lot of work to do in about 4 more laps to go. Argo finding his way back to the backside of Cherry Moore, everybody. Cherry Moore in the Mustang, or in the Chevy, of course. That's not a Mustang, but in the Chevy, and Clarville still in that white and neon green Ginetta. Cherry Moore very, very safe, he seems to be. Some corners Cherry Moore is it seems like he's taking out a lot of speed out of the car, and he might just be feeling something while he's braking, like, yeah, if I steer in now, I'm gonna lose the car. But he seems to be slowing down in a couple of corners more than he or should or could do. Hard to see from the outside perspective, of course, if you're not driving yourself. And we always say you either become a commentator or you're a god with racing, and I became a commentator, so we can commentate on things, but we might not show it on the track ourselves. gap between Cairns and Gillies seems to be the same. Stays the same. We've got Herendic and Varga. Oh, whoa, big moment for Benny Varga. Keeps it on the track though, but that's a free position for Herendic. Herendic in P8 and Varga dropping down to P9. Didn't lose a lot of time. He's still on the backside of Herendic though, with 3.5 more laps to go. McGowan comfortably in the lead. Post still 1.1 seconds ahead of Cairns, but Cairns seems to be catching back up with Post very fast, and all of a sudden the 4.9 or 4.8 seconds ahead for McGowan to Post drops down to 1.5. So I'm very curious what's happening at the front. We're gonna watch these two guys. Varga chase down Herendic coming into turn 1, and as soon as that's over, we're gonna go to the front. Gowan must have made a mistake. We see no damage to the car, I think. So he must have went off track somewhere. Sunbathing in the Californian sun, and got back into the car to start it back up and go. We see McGowan, we see Post, we see Cairns, and we see Gillies, all around that 1 second mark behind each other. So it's a nice train of 4, not close enough for any battle to be going on though. And Varga and Herendic, we see Privet in the BMW ahead, makes room for Varga and Herendic of course, but we see another AMG over there. And is that AMG J. Lee? I think it is. .9 seconds for Cairns to Post, with 2 more laps to go. And these two guys basically have the same speed. Herendic and Varga. It is just who makes the first mistake, and that person is gonna lose out. I do not know if one of those guys wants to make a mistake. You do not want to make them, of course, but it's very sad if you're having a great battle, you make a mistake and you lose out. I mean, even the guy that's in the behind position must be feeling a little bit down if a battle ends in a way without really ending the battle yourself. Gillies though, battling with Cairns, everybody. Cairns still ahead. Gillies very close behind with 1 more lap to go. Leader must be on the last lap, everybody. Leader on the final lap. And here we go. We're gonna go on board with Gillies, chasing down Cairns in that last lap. Far away for a move in this left-hander, but still half a track to go. Through that left hand, I just call it the dipper. Through that left hand dipper, and then on the Rahal straight to the corkscrew, everybody. The corkscrew being the most, or one of the most famous corners in the world. But Gillies is too far away to still make a move. Cairns could make a mistake, of course, but too far away to put that car anywhere on the inside or outside. With the Munster getting closer as well, but way too far away. Varga and Herendich though. We're gonna go to McGowan, everybody. McGowan made it over the start-finish line first, and he started first as well. Oh no, Cairns started first. McGowan was second, and Post finished here as well. We've got Cairns, we've got Gillies, we've got Matthias, and we've got Pospisil, and then we've got Wilbrink bringing it home in 7th, and we see in the background Herendich and Varga still close together with Maiga just behind. Maiga will be closing off the top 10, and then we have Cherry Moore and Clarbull for respectively P11 and P12. And then it's Mr. Gluehawk in that Alpine coming over the start finish, and we see there in the back Krupian and Popovic. Krupian was ahead, but Popovic made a little move, but let's Krupian go. So it's Popovic in 14th and Krupian in 15th. Then it's B. Winspear in 16th, R. Stapley in 17th, and N. Broom in 18th. And then we've got Vasic in P19, bringing it over the finish line. And we've got Marsden just coming out of the Corsa, still a little ways to go with a floppy bonnet, everybody. So he has had a very unlucky race. Mr. J. Kroc in P21 is already finished, and we've got Jay Lee, who is in the pit lane. And that's race number 1 done, everybody. We've got McGowan in P1, Post in P2, and Cairns in P3, everybody. That's your top 3 guys for race 1. There's gonna be a little break for now. These guys will do another 10 minutes of practice. We will go into intermission. I will be having a little break myself, and in about 5 to 10 minutes we're gonna possibly see the tail end of the new practice, but we are definitely gonna see the next qualification. So we're gonna go on to intermission, and I will see you all in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and Matthias de Munster is the first guy back on the track in that Mercedes AMG, ready for the second qualifying of the day. We've got 10 minutes to go, or 9.5 to be precise, but Matthias de Munster is going to take us away on the first quali run of the round 5 Whodarron Cup at Laguna Seca. Mercedes AMG white with a pink red-ish stripe, and then we see I believe Herendich just behind in the 496. But as always, sound effects? What are the sound effects? But we are looking at Matthias de Munster, as I see somebody talking about sound effects, but I'm not sure if we got too many sound effects. I don't know if I was doing anything crazy, but I can assure you guys I'm not watching anything strange. So phone is just somewhere else. This whole studio is ready for qualifying number 2. We're gonna go on board, everybody, with Matthias de Munster, who's gonna take us away on the first flying lap of the second qualification. And I will shut up. I will let you guys enjoy. And I wanted to say, just let this man cook, because he can drive. Yeah, we can. I think we can lower the volume of the sound effect, but that's a thing for behind the scenes, everybody. It's my fault if it's too loud, so you can blame me. Don't blame Matt, blame me, because I try to fix something nice. So if the intro is too loud, it's all on me. Cut a little bit of that inside going down the course through, and then I cut a little bit on the right side, and then you want to try and be as wide as possible here and steer in. Just don't hit that sausage, and on the throttle and fling that car back to the left to go right. Sounds a little bit contradicting, fling it to the left to go right, but that's exactly what you need to do. Early on the throttle, slowly straighten your steering wheel and on to the finish line, and we're gonna see what he's gonna be putting on the board. It's a 130.3, very good start for Matthias de Munster on this qualifier. 130.0, everybody. William Cairns is flying in the Ginetta, and I wouldn't be saying anything strange that this could possibly be a pole lap already. So we've got Herendich with a 130.4. We've got, I was gonna say Cherry Moore with a 131.2, but then Mr. Winspear got just 100 of a second faster, and then Popovic in the mix as well, with Wilbrink slotting in behind them as the fourth guy on the track right now with a 130.7. Got William Cairns in P1, Matthias de Munster in second, and M Post, Mr. Maarten Post, in third place right now in that trusty McLaren of his. Just 130.3, I think he drove that the last qualifying as well. And things are not gonna change, everybody. Just tenths, not even tenths between positions. So it could go either way. And we did see a nice amount of battles in race number 1. So let's hope race number 2 is gonna be just as exciting. And I'm very, very curious if we're gonna see 129s on the board. And here we go, Matthias de Munster. Let's go. 129.6, 4.5 tenths faster than William Cairns at the moment. Massive lap by Matthias de Munster, and McGowan is in the 29s as well, 129.8. are looking at Mr. Winspear. But we're gonna try and see what William Cairns is gonna do. He is almost halfway through the lap, but is he gonna drop down into the 29s as well, as we see Wilbrink just pull to the side to let Cairns go. See, we don't see Cairns doing a 29. We're gonna go on board with him to see if he starts pushing towards that 29, because we have the monster Gillies, Gowan, and Post in the 29s with Cairns just outside. So if he's not gonna be pulling a 29 out of the head, we're gonna go on board immediately to see how he is gonna start with building up to that 29, and he does not. So we're gonna go on board and see how he starts pushing to get into the 29s himself, because the monster Gillies, McGowan and Post are absolutely smashing qualifying too, with about 2 more laps to go. Barely keeps it off the track there and out of the gravel, but he does so, and he's still on for a possible 29. No major mistakes. Oh, and that's a 29 lost. So 2 more laps to go for Cairns to get that 29 as well. And the monster, he has been doing a very, very good job. Let's see if he can improve himself or if he's hit the limit already. Stays at 29.6, everybody. We've got Gillies just starting his lap. McGowan coming to the second, through the second to last corner. And let's see if he can improve. He went a little bit wide, a little bit deep coming out of the second to last corner. So I can't imagine him improving, but you never know. No improvement for McGowan either. And here comes Maarten Post down the corkscrew, and then it's 1 left-hander, 1 right-hander and a left-hander. See, all the way wide, open up that corner on the throttle early, let the car run wide, opening up your steering wheel, and then it's on to the start-finish straight to see if he can improve. No improvement for him either, and we're back to Cairns, everybody. Steve Gillies was there as well. Steve Gillies coming to the second to last corner. We've got Herendich drop down to P7, by the way. We've got Cherry Moore in 8, very, very good, and it's Steve Gillies who stays at the same time as well. And here we've got William Cairns. Can he drop down into the 29s? Still stuck with a 130.0. No 29 yet. I was gonna say no miracle yet, but we would love to see a nice little battle at the front with these guys. 2 tenths all apart. P2 to P4 and possibly P5 there as well. Of course, Pospisil there with the Chevy, but Herendich in P7, Cherry Moore in P8, very, very nice for him. Far ahead of, I was gonna say Clarbull, but Clarbull is out of the race, I believe. We do have Varga in 10th. And Herendich in 7th. So these guys had a battle in race 1. They will be separated by 2 cars in between them. We've got Wilbrink, who is not driving his best race tonight, in 11th place with that Aston Martin. We have Vasic in P12 and Winspear in 13th, and Mr. Krak, my friend, of course, we've said it a million times already, in P15. Mr. Dutch Buddha. I do hope Lee and Stapley, I believe, or I don't know, no, it was not Stapley, it was Marsden and Lee. They had a whole banked up car. And let's see if Cairns is going to improve on the last lap. He does improve and drops down into the 29s, everybody. We've got 5 guys in the 29s. 4 guys in the 29s. And as we said, we were talking about Wilbrink being in P11, P12, somewhere around that mark, is coming up onto the boards with a 130.0 point something. So we've got a nice field of top guys and a nice midfield. We've got battles all throughout the whole grid. Very, very good to see. And I mean, you can't say it enough, right? Battles and gaps on a track like this with such small amounts of differences, it's gonna be amazing. Race 1 was good. I mean, we didn't capture everything, of course, but seeing all these guys just getting close to each other and making the show is very, very exciting. We have to be a little bit more to the front, everybody. We're gonna stay here, the whole grid, in one image, ready to rock and roll on Laguna Seca. And we've already talked about it. If you're gonna get damage, you're probably looking at a pit stop time of about 50 seconds. Because a small hit can easily give you about 20 seconds or 25 seconds of damage. 15 seconds, but you do not want to repair. But if you would be having to stop, that's gonna be 50 seconds of pit stop time, with a drive-through being 21 seconds, but I do hope nobody is gonna get that drive-through. Of course, you do hope everybody is gonna keep it clean, keep it on the track, and not lose out on a drive-through. 15 seconds, 10 seconds before we get the race start, we're gonna get to do that warm-up lap. We have an SG20 for Mr. Krak and an SG20 for Mr. Privet. So that's very, very unfortunate. Just warming up, everybody. Brake a little bit, push the throttle a little bit. Some people will be swerving left and right, some people will be powering down, and then before they start teleporting, slam the brakes. Everybody is doing it differently, but just make sure you do it in your own way. I'm very, very curious what we're gonna see of the top 6 guys. What are the top 6 guys gonna do? And then, of course, what are Herendic, Pospisil, Popovic, Cherrymore, Vasic and Varga gonna do? With possibly Winspear just staying behind them. You never know. And what's gonna happen with J. Krak and Privet with that SG20? That's a very, very unfortunate mistake, but these guys are gonna have to drive a comeback race in a track that is already hard to get in your rhythm if you're trying to overdrive, or if you're out of your rhythm because of that little stop and go. get into the second to last corner, and everybody will slowly start to get into the correct positions to get ready for coming up on the start-finish straight and trying to get some moves done in the early stages, because chaos at the beginning of a race can gain you a lot of positions, or it can gain you a lot of tears, and the first is preferable, of course. We're gonna hop into that helicam again. We're gonna be watching the start of race 2 in a couple of seconds. Everybody getting ready, everybody lining up, foot on the brake, possibly full throttle, and going to the start finish line for the green lights. And we're off, everybody, we're off. Start of race 2, Whodarron Cup at Laguna Seca, round number 5. Getting into that Andretti hairpin, everybody. Matthias de Munster all the way on the inside. Steve Gillies around the outside. And McGowan in that blue and black Chevy in third position. You've got William Cairns in fourth. And Wilbrink and Maarten Post side by side through the second corner. Third corner officially though. And do we have any incidents? I don't see any major incidents on the track map. Car number 53 is completely off, and that's Mr. Atherton going off in turn number 4 and into the tires there. And we're gonna stay in the helicam for a little bit longer, everybody. We see Matthias de Munster absolutely smashing the first couple of corners and driving away. Then you've got Steve Gillies, you've got McGowan, Cairns, Wilbrink and Post still by side, and then is Pospisil in another Chevy just behind with Herendic. Popovic and Varga has closed that gap already with one car between him and Herendic. And Gilly seems to be finding the backside of Matthias de Munster slowly. We've got McGowan basically in no man's land. And then it's William Cairns. These guys, of course, not completely in no man's land, but bigger gaps than the guys around them. And then it's Post and Wilbrink trying to get close behind Cairns and find their way back to the top 3. But believe me, guys, the top 6, top 7, possibly even top 8 is so close together. Make a mistake, push that car a little bit too hard, and you're gonna definitely lose out. But we are not here for driving in trains, everybody. We're gonna hop over to the TV cam, and we're gonna watch Popovic behind Herendic and Varga just behind him. And Cherry Moore is in that Chevy chasing down Varga in the Ginetta. But look at this train of cars just blasting past here through that little left-hand dipper and onto the Rahal straight down the corkscrew. As we see somebody going off there. Who was off there? Car number 53. Was I mistaken or was I not? Yes, that's car number. That's still Mr. Atherton. Went off in turn 4 and the tires and is now standing straight ahead into the tires again at the corkscrew. So he is possibly returning back to the pit lane, either driving or teleporting. But Popovic and Varga. Varga is a little bit further behind, needs to defend from Cherry Moore at the moment, but Herendic and Popovic are getting the show going in those two Mercedeses. I do want to know what's happening behind those guys there. What are we doing? Mr. Johnny needs to do that stop and go 20 again. Or still needs to do it. Not again, still needs to do it. Out the front though, the gaps are so small. I do kind of want to go here. It's a top 3 battle, everybody, and we've missed out on battles before, so we're gonna stay here with Steve Gillies. Steve Gillies is getting closer to Matthias de Munster, and McGowan is on his way to the backside of Steve Gillies. So Steve Gillies is possibly gonna be in a sandwich today. You see Cairns, Post and Wilbrink just a little bit further behind. I was grabbing a little something for myself, everybody. Yes, Steve Gillies is far behind, getting closer and closer, but we do want to have some actions. Cherry Moore is a little bit further behind. Cherry Moore fell back, we see, through the field. He is now behind what I believe is P. Marsden or Nick Broom. And Varga is far behind Popovic, which is getting further behind Heredit. So even though the qualification gaps were almost non-existent, we do still have a couple of guys close together. And I just want to mention a race, and we see Stapley just going off, and that's Cherry Moore getting past as well. But gaps can also always cannot always, they are always fluctuating. So you do see maybe 9 tenths, 7 tenths, 1.2, like take the whole top 5 for example, and you're extending, you're closing. So very interesting to see how that's gonna go in the next 23.5 minutes. These guys though, Vasic and Varga. Varga, of course, still in that Ginetta, and Vasic in the Mercedes just behind. But Herendic at the moment is driving away from Popovic, and he will be happy. He had a very, very hectic first race, so I think he's going to be happy with a little bit calmer second race. Matthias de Munster though is driving away from Gillies in P2, and Steve Gillies is keeping that gap to McGowan at around the second mark. Cairns stays around at 7 tenths behind McGowan, and Post is a second behind Cairns, and everybody is almost a second apart right now, except for Varga and Vasic. And of course Cherry Moore is behind Marsden, is past Marsden, I would say. Oh, very, very rough. I would say Cherry Moore was very, very lucky there, and I think Marsden, for future penalties, is happy that he absolutely missed Cherry Moore there. But looking at the gaps, everybody, we've got a gap of 5 tenths for Maarten Post to William Cairns, and Wilbrink on his part is 5 tenths away from Post in 6th. So very, very close. It was all about a second, guys, and just we're looking at one battle and we're back to smaller gaps. That's how fast you can miss things in a race. This seems like it's gonna get exciting. We're gonna go on board with Wilbrink, everybody. Chasing down Maarten Post in the McLaren. Battle for P5, everybody. See the back end of that McLaren. I think Maarten got that McLaren set up pretty more front end heavy, basically. So that car seems to be sliding the back end around a little bit more than I would like, I think. But Maarten is a very, very good driver, so he is definitely capable of controlling that beast. Wilbrink is trying to put the pressure on Martin, on Mr. Post. To have a little look, doesn't make it happen though. And you see Pospisil in the mirror, in the rear view mirror of Wilbrink. So very, very close, these three guys. We're gonna go back into the TV cam so we can just see a little bit more of what's about to unfold over here. Three-man train, and we like trains, everybody. In trains, crazy stuff happens. It's one guy trying to defend. The guy in the back wants to overtake and not be overtaken, and the guy that's in the back end of the train wants to preferably overtake two cars at once. So just imagine all the possibilities and all the craziness that can come out of that. Trains are always a guarantee for action, as we see Wilbrink trying to push that Aston Martin as hard as he can, and that's the moment for Pospisil to put that Chevy up on the inside for the first corner, second corner officially on this track, this being the first one. Pospisil on the inside, Wilbrink on the outside. Can he let that car roll? No, he can't, and it's the move done for Pospisil, but there's a lot more corners to come, and you do have to defend as well. So good luck, Mr. Pospisil, and I wish you all the best. But the race is not over yet, with more than 18 minutes to go. On the other hand, we've got McGowan chasing down Steve Gillies for P2. Through that left-hand dipper, on our way on the Rahal Straight and to the corkscrew, everybody. Very, very close behind Steve Gillies. And that Chevy, ladies and gentlemen, if I was to drive a GT4 car, I would be driving that Chevy. It's such a beast of a car. I already like the sound when it's idling in the pit lane. So very, very nice. Naturally aspirated big block V8. It might even have a supercharger. It might not even be naturally aspirated, guys. Gillies keeps it on the inside and is gonna keep that door shut to prevent any switchbacks or anything. And it's a good thing that Ginetta is so nimble and that Chevy is a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier. But that Chevy is a definite beast on the straights, no matter how short or long it is. Wilbrink, Herendic and Pospisil very, very close as well. So could be a next major battle. Pospisil McGowan trying to have a little look before they go through that little dipper. He's almost side by side for the corkscrew, ladies and gentlemen. He is still behind though, and Steve Gillies needs to think of something to keep this guy behind, because he's gonna be pushing more and more. McGowan on the inside for the second corner, everybody. What is Gillies gonna... Can he let that car roll? No. McGowan lets that car run a little bit wider and defends from Gillies. So now it's up to McGowan in P2 to try and chase down the monster, who is comfortably in the lead by about 4 seconds. McGowan is immediately making a little gap for himself, so he's feeling at home in that Mustang here on an American track. American car, American track. So I guess some people would say America. But as soon as we say that and we scream that, we see him dip that wheel and getting unsettled. We have, of course, still Wilbrink trying to chase down Pospisil. Pospisil is trying to get closer to Post, and Post is trying to get closer to Cairns, but I mean, you never know. Some people might make mistakes, some people do not go well under pressure. And halfway into the race, everybody. But the major battle right now is Post versus Pospisil, with McGowan immediately pulling a 1 second, over a second gap to Gillies. Gillies, of course, 1.5 seconds ahead of this battle going on right here. Cairns versus Post versus Pospisil, with possibly Wilbrink coming back from that over a second gap and getting into the mix as well. Just hear these cars go, everybody. We see Gillies there, we see McGowan, we see Gillies, we see Cairns, Post and Pospisil and Wilbrink, and even Herendich just behind. All these cars are almost, we've got at least 6 cars into one average. Cairns, Post, Pospisil, Wilbrink and Herendich. You can't say it enough, but it's great to see so many cars so close to each other. And that's what we mean with one mistake could cost you your whole race. Maybe not your whole race, but you're definitely gonna be ending up somewhere P9, P10. We are now here with Popovic. Popovic in that Mercedes, having a little bit of oversteer, coming out of the corkscrew in the left-handed downwards. Keeps it on the track though, keeps it straight, doesn't spin around, but lost a lot of time. And I think Krupian had to do some braking there to not completely take out Popovic there. And just because we can, everybody, we see Jerry Moore, we see Nick Broom, Gluhawk and Jerry Moore. Jerry Moore can't brake as deep as he would have loved to, but needs to make a little correction. And you see that tiny Alpine going up along the inside and trying to take or keep one position and overtake the other. While we are here, we're gonna take a quick little look. We are now here with Popovic. Popovic in that Mercedes, having a little bit of oversteer, coming out of the corkscrew in the left-handed downwards. Keeps it on the track though, keeps it straight, doesn't spin around, but lost a lot of time. And right there to save them both and fight for an upgrade. And we are back with Broom in the white and blue Aston Martin, with Gluhawk in the Alpine and Jerry Moore still in that Chevy. We're gonna go have a little look at the front though, because we got Pospisil right behind Martin Post, and Wilbrink is fighting back. Just brake deep though and loses time again. Hello, Mr. Swindlemac. Yes, here it's all good. I hope it's all good in the chat. I hope it's all good at home. But we've got Pospisil and Post still fighting. And one mistake, we can't stress it enough. One mistake and you're gonna lose. Lose a lot of time because the field is so close together. You do have gaps, small gaps, but that time is lost so easily. We are gonna go and have a little look. Gluhawk and Broom. Battle for P14, everybody. Aston Martin versus Alpine, and you still got that lurking Chevy in P16 there as well. Pospisil 4/10 though behind Martin, so we are gonna stay with these guys until we are through the corkscrew, and then we're gonna back to the battle for P5, Post versus Pospisil. And it's Gluak overtaking Broom and Cherrymore still behind. Back to Post though, Post and Pospisil. Oh, it goes very deep, Post goes very deep. And Pospisil is along the outside for the next right-hander though. And the one profiting from this battle is Cairns, of course. Cairns is over 3.5 seconds ahead right now. It was around a second, has been driving away, and is now a second behind Gillies. So Cairns can look forward, and Post needs to look backwards to Pospisil and Wilbrink. And you see that Herendich in the back behind Wilbrink is because these guys are battling, and Wilbrink made a couple of mistakes, Post made a couple of mistakes, and these guys are just being slowed down by fighting. Herendich is coming closer and closer, but he would love to get into the mix in this battle, I believe. Good evening, Mr. Tips. This is nice to see, right? We're gonna take a little quick helicam. These guys over here. We're gonna go to Mr. Wilbrink. We're gonna possibly see these guys go into T2. The Andretti hairpin. Post stays ahead, Pospisil on the inside, Wilbrink as well, and Herendich is still not into the image. Comes into the image right now in the top of the screen, but is too far away from these guys to really call it a four-man train. But these guys, these three guys are definitely willing to fight for that P5 position. Under 8 minutes to go, everybody. We've got 3 cars very close behind each other. This is the closest battle on track. All other gaps are bigger. We see one guy, Mr. P. Marsden, with a stop and go 30 seconds. Probably tried to repair his car. Went into the pit lane too fast because that pit lane marker is very close after the corner. You need to almost completely stop immediately. So very exciting. And we see Cairns getting closer and closer to Gillies as well. So just have a little look to see how far it actually is, and then we're back to Pospisil versus Maarten and Wilbrink. Which is losing time on Gillies again, but as we say, the split times are fluctuating a lot, and it doesn't always tell you the actual split time. So refreshments are better. Multiple refreshments, but we know Kunos is done with supporting this game, sadly. So no more improvements to be made, I guess. Pospisil and Maarten, these guys have been battling from the first lap. So these guys have been I believe these guys are gonna be very sweaty. I'm getting sweaty commentating, and oh my god, we see I believe that was Croupion. Was that Croupion? No, that was not. That could have been, in my opinion, Jay Lee. It's not, it's not. I'm lying. And lying is not allowed, everybody. If you lie, you're a little. No, we're not gonna say that. We're not gonna say that on the stream, everybody. But Post Pospisil and Wilbrink. The battle that's been giving us the show for almost the whole race. We do see Cairns getting back closer to Steve Gillies, and we see Steve Gillies just when we switch to it going wide through the second corner, and Cairns closing down that gap. So we've got two guys very close together, with McGowan just a little bit ahead, 2 seconds. So it does look like a small gap, but it's 2 seconds, 1.5 second gap. And you see Matthias de Munster absolutely smashing it, 4.7 seconds ahead of McGowan. Matthias de Munster, absolutely ridiculous qualifying time in P1. Smashes it from the start in race 2 and is comfortably in the lead still. And Pospisil must be dreaming about McLaren taillights or McLaren fumes tonight, because he can't seem to find a way to overtake Post. I believe he does have more speed. I think as soon as he's clear, he can drive away from Post, but you can be faster. First you gotta try and get around him. Not having the best exit of them all, but that McLaren is also very fast in a straight, just like the Chevy. So this should be a closing the door from Maarten before the first turn, but he, I believe, Pospisil is very, how do we say that in English, courteous, going into turn 2, very, very safe and very, very gentlemanlike. He could have pushed harder for that inside line. I think as soon as Maarten or Mr. Post saw he was backing off, he knew he had that corner in the bag. And now Pospisil needs to look back before he starts losing positions to Wilbrink. Wilbrink has a little moment, almost he loses the rear, slides a little, by catching it, slides a little bit back and almost hits Pospisil on the left side, but they do survive, and we've got about 2.5 laps more, because crossing the finish line with 5 seconds to go means you do have to do another lap, everybody. We're quickly gonna go to Gillies and Cairns, very close together as well. We do see, of course, Pospisil and Wilbrink, but we have only 2 eyes and only 1 stream, so sadly these guys are not that close together that we can catch them all in one screen. Marsden in the pit lane, served that stop and go 30 seconds, and very, very sad to see that. And these guys are definitely gonna do this lap and another one. William Cairns, battle for P3, everybody, last podium position. Steve Gillies ahead still in the yellow Ginetta. William Cairns also in the Ginetta, but it's the black one. So battle for P3. Steve Gillies keeps it nice and clean, keeps it tidy. Possibly a little bit more safe than he would want to, but keeping it safe and defending is better than going off the track and not being able to defend at all. You see those guys in the back. Maarten Post a little bit further away from Pospisil, but Wilbrink still very, very close behind Pospisil. So we are watching the battle between Steve Gillies and William Cairns, but with the right POV of the cameras we can still see what's happening in the back. And the leader on the final lap. So these guys are all doing their final laps right now. Matthias de Munster is in P1, still 4 seconds ahead. McGowan comfortably ahead of these guys. Steve Gillies and William Cairns. Wilbrink though, very, very close, and Pospisil loses it in the last lap. He has been under pressure the whole race, makes a little mistake in the last lap, and Wilbrink just blasts past. Can't really drive away that quickly though. I believe these three guys have all got similar pace, but one mistake and you lose your position. So that's Wilbrink to P6 and Pospisil to P7. And then we've got, of course, William Cairns and Steve Gillies. The third to last corner, everybody. Steve Gillies still ahead, William Cairns behind, and Steve Gillies. Keep it together, my man, because you have been trying to chase down Cairns in race number 1 and let him chase you down in race number 2. So bring it home safe, go through the corner, get that exit done, and turn the rolls around. And leader has finished. Matthias de Munster P1, Steve Gillies P2, and McGowan P2, Steve Gillies P3, and William Cairns in P4. And then we've got Maarten Post, Wilbrink in 6th, and Pospisil in P7. And these three guys, Post, Wilbrink, and Pospisil, what a race these guys had. It's Herendich in 8th, and Vasic coming through the last corner to bring it home in P9, with Varga a little bit further behind. And then it's Popovic in the AMG GT4. And then it's Mr. Krupia. Gonna be bringing it home in P12, the Chevy number 10. And Cherry Moore also in that Chevy, coming home in 13th with N. Broom. A little bit of damage to the hood again. I believe he had that in race 1 and in race 2 as well. It doesn't matter, he does finish the race in P14. Then it's Gluak in P15 and Stapley in the Ginetta in P16, with Jamie Lee coming through the last corner of today's round 5 Whodarron Cup at Laguna Seca. And then we've got Winspear in a full purple on pink wheels Cayman, bringing it home in 18. And Mr. J. Crack in 19. We've got C. Privet in 20th and P. Marston in 21st, with P. Atherton in 22nd. Maiga, I believe, not driving in the second race. Aberdeen not driving in the second race. Clarbull not driving in the second race. And R. Bettison not driving. And we've got that silly commentator in an M2 in 27th. So that's today's round 5 of the Whodarron Cup at SimPlay Motorsport. I do think a couple of people have had very, very nice races. I believe these guys are waiting on the comms box. So if you do want to do an interview, just join the comms box, and I will be here for a little bit. And yeah, we will try and figure out something. I mean, P1, 2, 3 from the first race was almost the same. But if you finished 1, 2, 3 in race 1 or race 2, just join the comms box if you're listening, or if you know somebody who has been P1 or P2, you can send them to the comms box, and we will try and talk. If nobody joins in a couple of minutes, in 2 minutes we will try and just close off the stream. And thank you, Mr. GMC. I try to do my best, and I do have to thank Mr. Matthew, Mike, and Mr. Peaceful for preparing everything to just log in and start right away. And while the race is over, everybody, it's time to crack open a cold one before the interview starts. So I'll be grabbing a cold one, waiting for a little bit longer, and if nobody comes, it's gonna be a very fast cold one and hopping on another game. Thank you, Mr. Mac. Thank you. Thank you for joining in the chat as well. A nice and active chat is always nice to have, because you do get to talk about more than just cars on the track. Well, Matt, football is important too. Football is important too, and if you just got it on the phone on the side, we've got your mental support, and that's a valuable thing as well. Cheers, everybody. I believe we are not gonna have any podium interviews tonight, so we're gonna go into the stream ending. I will let it run a couple of minutes. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining. Next week, I'll be here on Tuesdays again. But don't forget to tune in tomorrow and Thursday to SimPlay Motorsport, as Matthew will be running the comms, I believe. So have a good night and enjoy it. See you all next week and have fun tomorrow with Magic.